Okay, so welcome back to the channel. While we're waiting on those cylinders in the truck to soak, I figured I'd do a sort of side project video. This one is pretty much just going to be little basic maintenance. My wife's Optima just isn't running like it should be. And after doing some research, the 2.4s in these Optimas, they're really high maintenance. And I've not done any of it. So, I'll go ahead, do some basic maintenance on it, and see if I can bring it back to life, because right now it has no power whatsoever. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, up here in the TVA portion of the car, there's a lot going on up here. Stuff that I really have no idea what it even does. Alright, so like I said earlier, this thing really has no power to it whatsoever. It was having an oil consumption issue, which I changed the PCV valve a couple weeks ago, which is right there. I did an oil change on it 2 weeks ago and put brakes on it, and it's a little bit low already. So I'm hoping that PCV valve took care of most of it. With it being GDI, which is gasoline direct injection, which means the fuel gets sprayed directly into the cylinder and not into the valve to wash all the carbon out. I'm hoping I can just do a valve wash, and hopefully that takes care of some of the oil consumption. But this morning I put a new air filter in it, because online said that could help take care of some of the power issue. For those of you that don't know how to change it on here, you just lift this up, pull out, there it is. Alright, so I got the filter from Advanced. Just making sure it was unlocked. It's a Fram. There's the part number. I had bought some carburetor and throttle body cleaner. I just got the Valvoline kind. It works pretty good, and it's cheaper than the CCR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. I'm going to take all this breather box contraption stuff apart, take the throttle body off and clean it. Which means this will have to come off. The intake tube and the throttle body is right here. This car's only got 70,000 miles on it, and eventually I'll do a video on how I keep my engine bays pretty clean. I mean, it's really simple, but should make for an interesting video. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead, take all this off, get that throttle body off. Now I'll show you how bad it is. Alright, so when I said a couple weeks ago I changed the PCV valve due to oil consumption, I pulled this line off the intake tube, which was just one of those satanic squeeze clamps. You can kind of still see it. There's oil wetness yeah. So I'm hoping that PCV valve took care of most of the issue. I'd say the throttle body's filthy, so cleaning it might actually help. But we're going to finish getting this took apart and see if it was the issue. All right, so it's 4 bolts that hold the throttle body on. 10 millimeter. Needs a short shank. Do I have one? Doubt it. All right, so upon further examination, after I got those bolts out, there is another line that goes into the throttle body, which is one of those squeeze clips on it. So just a word of advice. So off camera, I went ahead and pulled the battery out of here because on newer cars, when it comes to unplugging things, like I'm gonna have to unplug, I think it's the throttle position sensor on this car. You can't never tell on newer ones. But also, just a helpful tip, you know, if you really don't know a whole lot about working on cars and stuff, when you take a bolt out, like for this snorkel tube here, I always just run them back in a few threads just to help you not lose them, you know, because I mean, when you're working on cars, everybody knows that stuff has a tendency to flee. And in these engine bays, they're not easy to find. So to get that battery out, it was just 10 millimeter nuts on the battery terminals, and the battery hold down is a 12. Alright, so another piece of advice, these 2 hoses that are on the throttle body here, they will have coolant come out of them. You can see a little bit right there on the sleeve coupling. So don't freak out. I did. Had to call in the big guns on this. So it's just a cooling system for the throttle body. I didn't even know it had it, so if you don't know anything about them, don't be afraid to ask questions. Alright, so I've got the throttle body off. I sprayed into the intake port and wiped it out real good. It's pretty dirty, so this could end up being the fix. God, I hope. The throttle body was pretty nasty. Ew. We'll get that cleaned out, put it on, see if it's got any more throttle response, runs better. Highly doubtful, but hey, it's just a trial and error with these things sometimes. All right, so I got the inside of the throttle body cleaned out, and let me tell you, it was filthy. But now she looks brand used, I'm telling you. And also on this electrical connection, I sprayed some of this CCR contact cleaner. So we're gonna put it back on the car, see if it has any more power. Alright, so I've got all 4 bolts started. Whenever you're tightening something like this with a gasket involved, remember to go into a crisscross pattern and don't overdo it. Start here, 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 and here. Get your vacuum hose. When I was taking it apart, I did find out that my original PCV valve was bad. So when I took it off, there was some oil going through the intake tube. Probably already said that, but you know, just reassurance. Never hurts. always keep in mind when you're not using the correct things, stuff's just gonna pop out, go all over the place all the time. Make sure you over torque everything too. Really good for it. It's not official until you do this. It's not going anywhere. Forget to take your battery hold down back out before you literally just throw the battery into the battery box. The strangest looking, as you know who says, gold handle. Never seen before. I ain't seen one like that. I've always seen straight up and down nylon kind. Now the age-old question, where did my 10 go? Here it is. Now when I get done, this right here, it's going right in the old shirt pocket. Still probably never find it again. Be sure you pin your hot post down to where it won't. Come back out. And pull on everything after you've already tightened it. There we go. Alright, now just going to put this snorkel back on, start it, make sure I'm still good on coolant, because I did lose a little bit off of that throttle body reservoir. And I'm going to go up the road and pray my heart out that it fixed it. These Kias, I mean, they're really nice cars, but a lot of people have had a lot of issues out of the 2.4s. Do your research before you buy. I literally bought this car because ever since me and my wife got together, she has thrown a fit wanting one of these. And I traded in the best car I've ever bought her for this. It was a 2008 Ford Taurus, 3.5 V6. I called it the Grandma Racer slash Truckus because I made that car do more things than I'd ever asked my truck to do. Thing was such a beast. I miss it. In the time I owned it, I only raised the hood twice, 3 times maybe.
What about the front end?
Don't get me started on the front end. That was O'Reilly's fault because they gave me the wrong parts. They gave me, well, the ball joints had went out of it, and it was a front wheel drive. It wasn't the all-wheel drive model. They do have an all-wheel drive model. Taurus. Maybe. No. But anyways, they gave me control arms for the all-wheel drive model, and it just kept eating ball joints out of it. But other than that, it was literally the best car I had ever owned. Believe it or not, in the year and a half we had it, I put 80,000 miles on that car. 80,000. And it's still running around today. Some old guy over in Morristown has it. Bet he's not open hood on it either. Well, it started again. That's a plus. Well, that somewhat helped it, but not fully. I think it needs a transmission service-ish thing. So we're in the truck now, but we're going to do some stuff with my truck on here too. If y'all just, you know, calm down, bear with me. I'm literally doing this on iPhones right now. I don't have any special recording equipment, tripods, anything. But we'll get it there if y'all just bear with me. Anyways, my truck is a 2016 Silverado. It's a crew cab. It's red. Oh yeah. My plan for this thing is to do like a super sport clone tribute thing, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be nice, okay? I dropped it off at a body shop Tuesday because my papa decided that he apparently just didn't like looking at my truck, and he backed into it on the passenger side right in front of the tail light. So it's got to go get a new bedside put in it. And after that, and after we get the 73 running and the Kia straightened out, I'm going to be doing some stuff to this. Probably just like a small exhaust system. I am going to lower it, even with it being a 4-wheel drive. Yeah, that's right. I said that. Lowering a 4-wheel drive. We're going to put wheels, tires, you know, probably, there goes the groundhog. Red calipers, drilled slotted rotors, MSD coil packs, SLP box under the hood. Nothing crazy, but we will be doing things to it. And I have a special project. I'm not going to mention what it is right now, but if y'all want to see that, just come back and keep watching. We will get to it. I've got almost $5,000 worth of parts sitting beside my bed for said special project. Alright, so I know that I said that I was going to change the transmission fluid, but it's got more of a transmission issue that I really want to deal with. So I'm going to take it to the dealer on that one. They actually know what they're doing. They work on them every day. But as of right now, I'm going to do a valve wash because these GDI motors, they don't wash the carbon off of the valves. What I'm using is Berryman B12 Chem Tool. That's what you're going to want to do is find a vacuum line that goes into the intake. I pulled mine off of this metal part right here coming off the brake booster, because I couldn't get it off right there because it was stubborn. And you're going to want to do this at operating temperature. Get it up to about 2,500 RPMs and just put it in there in small doses. It is going to smoke. That is normal, so don't freak out. So what I did is I bought a small multi-funnel pack. I just got a water bottle, poked a hole in it at the top. So we're going to get this thing started back up, and you're going to need a helper to work the throttle for you. I've got my wife in the car helping. So, let's get to it. right, so I'm thinking that that Berryman, the Italian tune-up, really did the trick on this thing. It is running a whole lot better. I'm still going to take it to get the transmission checked before we go to Bowling Green, because I mean, this is my wife's car. You know, we got a baby due in like 2 weeks. This is the Mom Machine 5001. Look at her, ain't she pretty? So yeah, don't want her and the baby riding around in something that's potentially going to break down and leave them in the middle of nowhere. So I think that's going to close it on this video. And also, before we head up to Kentucky, probably going to put a set of plugs in it too, just because it's literally about to hit 70,000. It's at 69,943. So if you like what we're doing, I hope you do. Please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little bell. You know, I mean, we're just now getting started with the channel. I mean, I'm not trying to do this to get fame, fortune, money, whatever. I'm doing this because people who care about cars are getting fewer and fewer by the day. I'm hoping just to open somebody's eyes to the automotive world. I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's also a pain in the neck. But I mean, the end result, when you can fix something yourself that everybody's told you that you couldn't, it is just the best feeling in the world. Also saves you a lot of money too on the plus. But yeah, just hit that bell, smash that subscribe button, like, share, comment, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends, neighbor, preacher, doctor, some guy you met walking down the road, anybody. But that's going to end it on this one. Y'all have a good one. God bless you. Thank you for watching.